Hello, here's a bi-weekly Ukraine update. Let's start with security in Ukraine, since we are seeing a noticeable increase in requests from businesses and organizations, of course, traveling to and around the country. First and foremost, traveling to Ukraine is possible and can be done safely with the appropriate precautions. Having said this, Russia over the past 3 months has significantly ramped up its use of drones as part of its long-range campaign targeting Ukraine's civilian and critical infrastructure, including a shift in tactics that has contributed to a decline in Ukraine's interception rate from 95-97% down to 84% in April. We also continue to caution against Russia's use of tactical ballistic strikes recently deployed with cluster munitions, as Ukraine is currently facing challenges in securing key urban areas, including the capital Kyiv. This brings me to the next point, the signing of the US-Ukraine Reconstruction Investment Fund, referred to as the Critical Minerals Deals plus oil and gas. Of particular importance for Ukraine in the short term, the deal counts any future US military assistance as a capital contribution to the fund, marking a shift in Ukraine's role from beneficiary to client within the US defense sector. However, the agreement per se does not constitute the kind of binding security guarantees required to deter future Russian aggression. Nevertheless, the direct provision of air defenses, be it missile or batteries, remains a priority. But just as critical are recent indications that the US will permit the transfer of Patriot missile systems from Israel, Germany, and Greece to Ukraine, which suggests Washington would not obstruct European access to US defense equipment on behalf of Ukraine in the event ceasefire negotiations break down. Enthusiasm from the US over a Ukraine-Russia settlement seems to be waning, with media reporting that the US is preparing a new sanctions package on Russia, with the final decision, of course, hinging on US President Donald Trump's patience now towards Russian President Vladimir Putin, but also on Ukraine. Russia maintains its maximalist demands, and Putin's 3-day ceasefire proposal over Victory Day was both not credible and most likely self-serving. With Victory Day approaching and little to show for it, the missile threat to Ukraine remains elevated. However, Ukraine, as we saw with the attacks that led to the temporary closure of Moscow airports, will not be sitting still.